Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're just gonna hop right in because we know exactly what this banner is. We have seen it, right? It's tea time. It even has three houses music playing because it's mostly a three houses banner. That is the vibe. That is the general vibe. You have Desperation 4. That's what I know.
Your order?
And that's mostly what I'm interested in learning here. We're not going to watch the whole thing through and then go back, because we already know who all is on it, right? So instead, let's just immediately take a look here. So she has a unique A skill. That's interesting. So we got a preferred A. We have a preferred weapon. We have attack speed oath 4, and then we also have desperation 4. Curious. It's going to inflict speed -4 on foe during combat at start of combat. If unit's HP is less than or equal to 99%, and the unit initiates combat, or number of spaces from unit's start position to end position is greater than or equal to 2, and unit initiates combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe can counterattack. Okay. Okay. So it no longer. So there's two conditionals here, two possibles. Okay. If your HP is less than or equal to 99% and you initiate combat, then unit can make a follow-up before foe can counterattack. Or the number of spaces from unit's start position to end position is greater than or equal to 2, and unit initiates combat. So basically, if you are moving 2 or more spaces and you initiate, regardless of HP threshold, you will be able to get a follow-up before the enemy can counterattack. I mean, that's pretty good. I imagine it would especially work well on Cavs, right? Could probably do some stat buffing with clash skills. Just some fun ideas there. I imagine it also works with warping. So obviously with attack speed oath 4, that would work as well. Really any kind of movement. I'm sure Pathfinder makes this also a little bit crazy. So Desperation 4 seems really good. I mean, you get a speed debuff, but more or less, more often than not, you aren't even going to need to meet the HP threshold. The only thing it really doesn't work uber well on, armors. That's really it. But I mean, even then, you could just utilize the HP threshold. So overall, I think Desperation 4 is really solid. I think it's a great skill. We got Mastermind. At start of turn, deals 1 damage to unit. Yeah. Unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +9 to unit during combat, then deals damage equal to X plus Y, where X equals 80% of the highest total bonuses among unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit, and Y equals 80% of the highest total penalties among target and foes within 2 spaces of target. So you have a range of 3, I think, on each, right? More or less. And you're getting the sum of both. And there is no threshold. There is no limit. So it's 80% plus 80% of your bonuses / allies bonuses, and then also enemy penalties / nearby-ish enemy target penalties, the highest of those. So that can be a lot. That can be pretty high. So let's just hypothetically say it's 20 for each, right? Is that an easy one? It's 4/5, sure. So 16 plus 16 is 32, right? 80% of 20 is 16, I think. And then 16 plus 16 is 32. So 32 with 20 being the bonuses, penalties, all that stuff. So you could probably do a lot of true damage pretty easily with this. That does not seem hard to accomplish. Baked Treats is the skill. We get Canto with it. That's fun. We have Slaying Effect at start of turn, afflicts Speed, Brez -6, and Sabotage on nearest foes within 5 spaces of unit, and foes within 2 spaces of those foes through their next actions. Yikes. Okay. That's a lot. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of any ally, grants attack speed plus 60 unit, neutralizes effects that prevent units follow-up attacks, and neutralizes foes' bonuses to speed res during combat. Okay. So really it's driving home that Lysithea is in fact a very player phase unit. Pretty much all of her stuff outside of Oath here is reliant upon her initiating combat. So she is definitely not enemy phase minded, I would qualify it as. Overall, she looks really good, though. Seems like she can do a fair amount of damage. Was she a tome? I think she was a tome, right? Yeah, Colorless Flyer. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. All right. All right. I'm on board. I'm thinking about who I would give Desperation 4 to. And I don't know that I have an answer right now. All right, we got Sigurd. My man. A proper pourer he is.
I can certainly do my
He's a blue tome cav. Interesting. I always did say that's Sigurd. What a proper pourer he is. So not as new stuff for Siggy here. I don't think we... Nope, this is it. Okay. So we got Seal Res 4, which isn't new, but still pretty pog. We have Remote Sturdy, which is a new remote skill, but the sturdy variant, obviously. Chivalric Aura. And we also have Knightly Manor. Okay, so if unit initiates combat, grants attack plus 7, defense plus 10 to unit during combat, and reduces damage for foes first attack by 30%. So not anything that we didn't expect there. Chivalric Aura. Start of turn, if unit special cooldown count is at its max, grants cooldown count -1 to unit. Boosts special damage by 25% of unit's attack. After combat, if unit's special triggered, grants attack plus 6 to unit and all allies for 1 turn. No range requirement. And unit and all allies can move 1 extra space. Yo! So Legendary Sigurd, right, has, I think, similar but not identical. I don't 100% remember. It could very well be like the same exact thing. I don't use Legendary Sigurd, and I should. So I am not as well versed with him. I mean, come on, guys. There's only like 1,000 units, or there will be next month. By the end of next month, we will have 1,000 unique units in Heroes. So apologies if I don't remember Legendary Sigurd's special off the top of my head. But that's pretty good, right? Knightly Manor. We have Slaying, because everything does. Start of combat, if units HP is greater than 25%. Grants Omnibuff of 5 to unit. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up. And deals damage equal to 15% of unit's attack, excluding AoEs, during combat, and also if foes uses Sword, Lance, Axe, Magic Staff, Dragonstone, or Beast, foe cannot counterattack. So, bows and daggers? Bows and daggers, is that all that's left? Okay, so he does not get counterattacked by anything other than bows or daggers, which I think would require them to have a close counter ish skill. Because I don't think there's any prefers that allow for close counter that's built in to the weapon. None that I can think of off the top of my head. Okay, so a little less complicated than Lysithea. Obviously, Lysithea was a little bit lengthier in terms of what was going on there. But this is still a pretty cohesive kit. He's kind of like Legendary Sigurd, but has a blue tome. Which is a blue tome enjoyer I can get behind, man. I will boot and rally for that. Our 4-star? Our 4-star? I think it's a 4-star. Should be
is the perfect complement to a nice cup of tea.
Ferdinand here. Which rip Billy Kometz, obviously. But what is it? Rico. My chat let me know that Rico actually did a lot of work that Billy was previously doing, which they have a similar timbre and voice. I don't know if they're doing like a voice match type thing, or if this is just Rico's natural jib. That's a sailing term that doesn't apply here at all. Either way, I think the sound is pretty cohesive, and obviously it's sad circumstances that has to happen, but I think, you know, the voice work still sounds really good. Not the same, but still really good. We got what? Rally Speed Res Plus, fun. We got Wind Sweep, fun. We have Speed Res Rain, also fun. So I'm assuming this is some sort of follow-up thing? No follow-up? Tea Time Set Plus is the tome here. If unit initiates combat orders within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +5 to unit during combat. And also, if unit speed is greater than foe speed, neutralizes effects that prevent units follow-up attacks during combat. That's actually a really good inheritable. And it's green. And green tomes kind of are bad most of the time. Blue, there are a lot of blue tomes. Colorless, they're pretty much all preferred except for like 2, I think. Red, you know, we have a rearmed red tome for that. Green has been getting the short stick for a while. So this is actually a really nice inheritable. I like that. The kit is good, obviously, so the weapon and Wind Sweep obviously work cohesively. The problem is that you can't actually inherit Wind Sweep 1, 2, 3 and Tea Time Set and Tea Time Set Plus from Ferdinand, because you can only get 4 of each skill. Ooh, that's cringe. That's really cringe, and we hate that. So yeah, you will have to pick and choose. You can get the weapon and its advanced form, and up to Wind Sweep 2. This is yet another reason why I continue to send feedback, asking them to up the inheritance from 4 to 5. Because it's circumstances exactly like this, where all of this inherit is really good, okay? But the weapon and B skill are obviously meant to go together, right? That's the synergy of the kit. But you can't get all of it, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Maybe does not think that's a problem, but with a game that has soon to be over 1,000 playable units in it, that is definitely a problem. So yeah, that's something. Granted, I think we have this in probably in manuals somewhere. I know we have it in Grails, but like, it's 2023, man. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, irrelevant in this particular instance, because why would you ever fire off Ferdinand? He's so classy and such a gentleman. Can we just take a moment? We just take a moment to appreciate this. The Bells of the Ball. This is AYRA. AYRA, if you don't recall, had a fairly controversial introduction into Fire Emblem Heroes, wherein people kind of thought that she wouldn't be on the banner, but she ended up being on the banner, and then people got upset or something along those lines. She was baited into possibly being free, I think is ultimately what it comes down to. And she wasn't. So people got upset, basically, is what happened. And so AYRA, I feel like, in lieu of things like Larce, Marita, characters like that, I feel like they have gotten more of a spotlight because like they're AYRA adjacent, but not AYRA. Either way, I'm thrilled. My AYRA, if you haven't seen her, is fully kitted.
Must we dress this way?
Yes, we
There's
must.
more to tea than drinking it.
By the way, I will be summoning, just FYI. And it will be a special two-parter, more than likely. I'm willing to throw probably close to 500 orbs initially, just to see what we get. But it is a two-parter. I do have something on order to do part 2 with. I tried to get it in time for the debut, but unfortunately, there was a 2-week wait. So maybe towards the end of August, we'll have the part 2 debut with a little special some minute.
She can't be stopped.
She can't be. It's true. Oh, this is a scroller. Oh yeah, that's a scroller, baby. Okay. So let's get an initial look at everything here. So it looks like a red feud. Low desperation. Attack speed clash. Supreme Astra, and then also her weapon, which we'll go back and take a look at here in a second. So red feud, don't really need to explain that. Flow desperation. Oh my. Also, by the way, because someone's going to call it out in the comments, this is me officially recognizing that Mercedes is also part of this harmonized unit. Because so far, all I've talked about was AYRA, and someone is going to flame me in the comments for that. So, if you make a comment about it, and you did it before watching the rest of the video where I talked about it, you're just going to feel silly. So, none to be done about that. Anyway, Flow Desperation inflicts speed defense -4 on foe during combat. If a unit initiates combat, neutralize effects that prevent units follow-up attacks during combat, and also if number of spaces from unit's position to end position is greater than or equal to 2, or unit's HP is less than or equal to 75% at the start of combat, units can make a follow-up attack before foe can counter-attack. So, we are not only getting Flow Desperation, but we're also getting Desperation 4 on this banner, and they both seem to have this conditional of movement that does not necessarily involve Desperation triggering with the traditional lack of HP, right? So this is greater than or equal to 2 spaces traveled, or our HP is less than or equal to 75%, which is the more standard Desperation 3 threshold, I think. Maybe it's 2? Is Desperation 3 80%? I don't remember. Anyway, point is, you don't necessarily have to meet an HP conditional to get Desperation to trigger on 4 or Flow, which is pretty cool. I like that we're getting a speed defense debuff. All good things that I'm seeing here. Supreme Astra. Oh my, that sounds delightful. We're getting a boosted special damage by 40% of unit speed. Classic AYRA. At start of turn, if unit's special cooldown count is at its maximum value, grant special cooldown count -1 to unit. After unit special triggers, or grant special cooldown 1 to unit. Okay. So we are getting we're getting like a times pulse 4 kind of effect, I think. Obviously, I'm fairly confident that her weapon is going to have slaying in it, which means that this special is going to basically loop her in a constant state of preparedness to proc her Supreme Astra. So that is really cool, and I like that a lot. The weapon, oh my god, there's so much happening here. T times edge. We have enables Canto, distance +1, max of 4. Pog. That's really good, actually. That's like really good. And there's the slang. So yeah, Supreme Astra is always going to be procced. I think, right? If I'm understanding math correctly there. At start of combat, the unit's HP is granted 25% grants attack speed plus X to unit, where X equals 25% of foe's attack at the start of combat, -2, minimum of 6, max of 16. Yowza. Okay. Deals damage equal to 20% of unit speed. Oh my god. And neutralize effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. Wow, that's really cool. That's really pog. So we're getting explanations of everything here. So basically, if our HP is over a quarter of total, right, we have a buff to our attack and speed, plus X, where it's basically dependent on a quarter of the foe's attack at the start of combat, -2. Okay, so max of 16. So, you know, for what that's worth. It can only go up to +16, right? That seems like a lot. And then we're also dealing 20% damage of our speed. Oh my god, dude, she's gonna nuke everything, bro. Oh my god, I love her so much. Okay, so AYRA is insane. I don't know what Red Feud is doing there. Probably because she's a sword cav and that's hip. I don't know. But the point is that I love this a lot. Okay, harmonized skill. Sorry, obvious. Grants attack speed +6, resonance blades, and unit can move 1 extra space. Hey, to unit and allies from the same titles for 1 turn, and neutralizes any penalty on unit and allies from the same time. Dude, it does everything. I mean, not everything, but like pretty close. It does a lot of good things.
May we pour
And
some more?
we're getting extra movement. Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, dude, she's so good. It's everything I hoped. It's everything I hoped. And Tail 2 is obviously
some
free.
tea.
I love her so much. Tail 2 is free, which is great for me. Big Tail 2 fan. Was really happy when she got a Resplendent for the stats mostly. You know, this banner is unique, and I can appreciate that. I like it. I like it a lot. I have been waiting for them to do some kind of banner like this. If you're wondering if this is the Maid's banner, it's about as close to Maid's as we're probably ever gonna get. But yeah, it's pretty classy. It's pretty classy. I am excited about this. I'm happy to not have to pull. What's happening? Oh, Spark. Spark me. Okay, yeah. So that's fine. I am feeling pretty good about this banner. Let me tell you, I love it for a couple of reasons. Right here. I'm a big Mercedes fan. I'm a big AYRA fan. I know I'm known as the Raya guy. Okay, but you know, I have other interests in titles. Okay, so there. Not only that, but I think the harmonized pairing here, though it doesn't make sense, will benefit both titles pretty heavily. And I think I talked about this on stream, or maybe even in the FEH channel. Three Houses obviously brought a lot of people to Fire Emblem, to the franchise in general. And I think utilizing those titles, kind of like what they did with Fates and Awakening back in the day, when Fae first came out, to kind of like usher in awareness of older games. I like that when they're doing that, almost, you know, obviously here with Harmonized Heroes, where they're taking a character who is pretty well known by a lot of newer fans of the series and franchise from Three Houses, right? Fodlan. And then pairing them with a character who maybe is not as well known because there's not really any realistic way to be able to play the Yggdrasil games, right? So I like that they're doing that. I like that they do that. And I think it's smart that they do that. And I hope that it makes some of the newer players who maybe were not aware of characters from older titles, or just older titles in general, since Nintendo doesn't want to seem to release them on Virtual Console or anything, that this can kind of usher something in, you know? And it's especially great with AYRA because she has not been reintroduced into the game for like a really long time, like 6 years. So this is great. This is great. It's not necessarily a banner that's an absolute must for everyone, which is also really nice because that just means you have more saving potential for Choose Your Legends, which is coming up in a matter of like a week and a half. So overall, very good stuff. I think it's smart. I think it's good. I think everything is great. Let me know if you're pulling. I will definitely be pulling in almost undoubtedly a two-parter, unless the first part goes really well. Which it probably won't, but that's fine. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Give me your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one.